Tonight, NBC5 investigates Jimmy Hoffa's last full day on Earth.
It was 50 years ago today that a plot was brewing against the former labor union boss, and in 24 hours, he'd be dead. Our investigative reporter Chuck Goudie joins us with a case that really hasn't ever gone away because his body's never been recovered, Chuck.
Oh, that is right, Mary. And there is a dusty file at FBI headquarters in Washington called Hoffex. It's a 56-page briefing by agents prepared a few months after former Teamsters union leader Jimmy Hoffa vanished. Tonight, the conclusion in that FBI memo remains the working theory as to what befell Hoffa and why he was murdered at the hands of Detroit mafia figures. These are the last known pictures of Jimmy Hoffa, snapped hours before he disappeared in July 1975. Hoffa posing for photos on what would become the last morning of his life. 50 years ago tomorrow, Hoffa would leave the photo session here at his suburban Detroit lakefront home for a scheduled lunch meeting with a pair of hoodlums from Detroit and New Jersey. The mobsters never showed at this restaurant not far from Hoffa's home, and Hoffa himself was never seen again. This 1976 FBI memo, prepared following months of investigation in Detroit, Chicago, New York, and coast to coast, concluded that JRH was killed because of his attempts to re-enter Teamster union politics. Decades later, Hoffa's son told Fox News the family believes that to have been the motive.
If he did come back, he would win the election and he would pick back the union. And they knew that. And the only way to stop him was to kill him.
In this interview, Hoffa's son is now also calling for the release of his father's full FBI file. But it is a case that remains open. No body ever found, but more than a few well-honed theories, according to Chicago mobologist John Binder.
I mean, you could fill the United Center with the people who supposedly were involved in the murder and burial, reburial of Jimmy Hoffa. You'd fill up all those seats.
Tomorrow night at 10, the Hoffa riddle.
I believe that people do know what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. We know who perpetuated it and how it was done.
Our sit-down with a reformed Motown mobster. NBC5 investigates the 50-year-old Hoffa abduction and murder. We take you to Detroit where it happened, into the car Hoffa left behind, and to the house on a hill where some mob watchers say the gangland hit went down.
You know, if I had to say, like, where was he killed? This is where he was killed.
The Hoffa case is one of America's greatest crime mysteries. Former FBI officials and federal prosecutors who worked the case remain frustrated and embarrassed to this day that they've never been able to solve it, outfoxed by the mobsters who engineered and executed a major U.S. labor figure. Tomorrow night at 10, a look back and a way forward. Hard to believe another 50-year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a busy summer 50 years ago.
Well, sure, 1975.
Right.
Wow.
We're looking forward to your report tomorrow night at 10. Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.